Geoff, context is really important with attack surface intelligence. What data points are really important for a CISO to consider when they want to manage their attack surface?
Context is certainly key when understanding the total attack surface. Any security organization needs to really pursue two things. One, as they're looking at all those assets, are the assets in the environment that they need them in that defensible environment, or are they somewhere else? And if they're somewhere else, you pursue to corral them back into that environment. That's the first component. Truly, the second component is then the ability to make sure that those assets are, in fact, to the standard and a configuration that are necessary to protect your environment, and in keeping with not just what security needs, but because it's in keeping with what security needs, it's more resilient for the business.
Geoff, once you've established asset visibility, what are some of the key data points you need to begin to understand which assets need to be remediated?
There's a simple way of looking at this for any enterprise, and I'm pretty positive the security community out there knows, but I'll put it into an algorithm. To start, if you know your assets, then you have a basis. But if you add to that whether or not those assets are configured the right way, that's the second part. Add to that whether or not there's intelligence to indicate that they're vulnerable, and then add to that whether or not that vulnerability is being exploited in the wild. I might add to that too, whether or not there's information from partner organizations that they are taking actions. That helps, and when you put all of those integers into your algorithm, you can make a decision on whether or not your routine processes for change in your technology environment are appropriate, or if you need to do something more expedient, like an emergency change.
How can large organizations better catch asset misconfigurations?
Any large organization that's conducting an incredible amount of technology delivery in today's modern environment will have a process to spin up, but then oftentimes doesn't have the same level of fidelity in spinning down. What that results in is what we like to call lost and forgotten assets. There needs to be a process to find those assets and make sure they're brought back into configuration that is compliant with policies and standards, or simply get put to bed.